And so, after having Iggy fly us over the desert and drop a bomb on Geb, we have made it to Cairo. Dio's somewhere here. And we're gonna interrogate everyone to find out.
Oh, man.
Damn it!
Thwarted again.
What if that guy has a stand that lets him lie?
Now this guy, no, not lying at all.
Lady Star legs used to suck before this year, but they're good now.
You know, it used to be a long time ago that ladies just, you know, they had the worst legs. Now, Hachi Mama.
Maybe somebody sold the weapons guy a possessed sword.
Who would do that? Anyways, right now we're just looking for leads on where we can go.
This is the jauntiest weapons store music I've ever heard.
Now your body has become a giant. You're so big. So anyways, that's our introduction to Mariah.
Well, that sucks.
That certainly seems like it did nothing, considering all of the swords and stuff that was hanging on the wall.
This certainly seems like a mechanic that, you know, could have been implemented in a different video game, but isn't here.
Let me guess, you're going to get into a random battle with, like, a bunch of forks flying at you.
God, that sounds so cool. But no, instead we talk to them and we figure out where the nice lady with the nice legs went.
Unfortunately, this town is covered with Jerry Lewis impersonators, so everybody's just saying, "Nice lady!" Also, when you walked into this bar, I was like 100% certain you had switched out this music with the Banjo-Kazooie opening theme.
I just love that you talk to all these people and they're just like, yeah, cool lady. Lady went to the toilet. It's like, great.
And then the weirdo that specifically mentioned seeing one going into the toilet.
So, you can pick Iggy as your character, but he can't interact with anything or move.
Oh, I thought we had gotten a new mechanic somehow.
No.
Here you got my hopes up.
No, I wish. Yeah, the mechanic should be that Iggy, like, sniffs around and, like, is able to track things, but no.
No, dogs don't understand anything in this world.
It looked like you just had, like, a carpet with Iggy on it, instead of him being in the frame.
Right, well, I mean, again, the camera can't pan down. It's impossible. They forgot to buy an arm for that.
So that must be, like, actually the first time this entire game we have seen the floor.
Yeah, and no matter where the floor is, it's just dirt. Anyways, we don't get into a fight with a bunch of knives, unfortunately. It's just that, like, now walking around this dungeon, more shit's just gonna, like, shoot at us.
And I'm guessing there's no actual way to avoid that?
No. And then you just have to keep touching more shit.
Yeah, you just have to keep sticking your finger in fucking electrical outlets.
Yeah. Like, you can't avoid extra damage by not, like, looking around the dungeons for random shit. And also, Joseph will say this every time, just in case you forgot. Damn, I know this lady said she was going to turn us into a magnet, but damn, she really did it.
I'm a professional gamer, you know?
Yeah.
Whenever I get hit in a video game, I immediately stop. So, I'm glad Joseph is here to, like, teach me every time I pick the game back up what happens.
Right. You're like that guy who makes all those videos that's like, I play until I touch the color red in Mario Kart or whatever.
I'm not that insane, Chirps, just a little bit.
So,
okay.
are Whole Horse's bullets better now because they're magnetically attracted to the stands?
I don't think so, because, like, he could just shoot him wherever anyways. It's not like he's, like, needed that.
Right, but does it make it, like, faster, or...?
Oh, I guess maybe. Maybe it, like, makes it slightly faster as they get closer to you.
Or maybe it, like, starts to kind of cancel it out and makes it worse.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe it's, like, opposite magnetic. But, you know, you'd also think that, like, the gun would be an issue with this. Like, you know, I wish that there was an idea that was just, like, we accidentally magnetize his gun to our body, and he just can't attack anymore.
Yeah, I think I would like that. Like, Whole Horse, like, he has to... Like, he can only really fight with people that are, you know, like, simpatico with his stand.
Right.
But, like, if he fights with somebody who just, like, completely fucks up his stand, that would be funny.
Right. Like, I mean, a Whole Horse has to work with someone because he's a coward, right? Mm-hmm. That's why he uses a gun.
I think he's a hero.
I mean, look...
Cowards can be heroes. Not every hero wears a cape.
It's true.
Some wear a cowboy hat.
Though, Mariah, wearing a cape, not a hero, for sure. Yeah, I think that's sad that, like, although we get Oingo Boingo content with someone else, we do not get, like, Whole Horse shooting himself in his own ass with his gun.
Well, we get Boingo content.
Yeah, I mean, Oingo was also there.
Well, you see, the thing about it is, like, they didn't want the sprite actually having to go down far enough for Whole Horse to shoot himself in the ass.
Right. Actually, he doesn't exist down further, so he actually doesn't have an ass.
Oh my god. What a cruel world.
This game was, like, directed by a madman who just hated the existence of legs.
Yeah, like an anti-Quentin Tarantino.
Every night he would chop off his own legs, and when he woke up, they would be back there, and he'd curse his lot in life.
His basement just full of his own legs.
I do appreciate how Whole Horse's attack animation is like the only attack animation so far that just looks like... Yeah, I'm just gonna... Like, actual attacking rather than just weird cutaways and just... No, he just has a fucking gun. Let's just cut to it. Come on.
Yeah, and it, like, even animates, like, the fact that his gun pops into his hand because it's a stand. I think that, like, you know, there was some thought put into... Not a lot of thought put into Mariah, I will say. Like,
I mean, then
her
again,
sprite is not good.
What's Mariah supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole point was that it was, like, a puzzle fight. And there's not a lot of puzzle to be done here.
No, you're
Yes,
magnetized.
Jojo's is kind of a lot of puzzle fights. They've been trying with that. I mean, they've not been doing well with it, but they've been trying.
Really, if they wanted to make a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game, they should have made a Sokoban clone.
Hell yeah. But I think it would be fun if, like, you know, you had to do an idea and it was the two people smashing into her because of their magnetic pull.
Just make JoJo's Bizarre Adventure one of those German adventure games made by perverts.
What's an example of that? I don't feel like I know that genre.
I think there's, like, a game called, like, Blondie or Legally Blonde.
It's called Legally Blonde 2.
No, it's called Legally Distinct.
I don't know, it's very cool. A stupid YouTuber I watched, like, displays that game prominently on a shelf at Pride.
Great.
Right next to his jerk-off PSP games.
Yeah.
I went to go search real quick. It's giving me a lot of, like, if I want Dagwood's, like, wife, Blondie.
Oh god, and do I ever?
Jesus, calm down now.
I'm like Mr. Boop, but for Dagwood's wife, Blondie.
Oh my god.
Oh, finally, we're getting directions to his house. He didn't even give it, he's just...
This is actually a GPS with Dio's voice installed.
I love that it's just like, just get your dog to do it. I don't give a shit. So you just take a corner, and suddenly, here you are at Dio's mansion. But remember that we have a fight to face before we go in there.
Right.
It looks like their only, like, reference for drawing a bird was, like, birds that appear on flags.
This bird is extremely, like, a still taken from Birdemic.
I like the bird. I think they put a lot of work in it.
I mean, you saw that animation of it flying down to attack us.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful.
It got more work than I think just about every other villain we've had to face so far.
I think you guys are disrespecting this game, and I'm sick of it.
I'm
This
sorry.
game looks good. It looks like it's drawn by Mobius himself, and it's definitely one of the. It definitely looks like one of the works he worked hard on.
Yeah, drawn by Mobius, soundtrack by Moby.
So this was during his dark period.
Yeah.
Was there ever a light period with Moby?
Darker. It was fairly short. He made like one song. Clearly.
So what happens when you die in this game? Does it just, like, give you a game over and then you're, like, back at the end, or do you, like, lose a day?
No, so you have to, so you can save at ends only. So you just go back to the most recent end you saved at. But it doesn't matter if any individual dies. Again, it's just if the party dies. It doesn't have, like, the thing where it's like, oh, if your main character dies, you're just fucked.
Right. If Iggy dies, everybody's too sad to go on.
Right. I mean, that's almost true in the original, but...
They just met that dog. They don't really care.
But look how cool he is.
Unfortunately, they didn't get all the character building, like when Iggy farted in Polnareff's face. Or, when Iggy was surfing on that car.
You want these poor game developers to, like, sprite a fart? Fuck you, Chirps.
I don't know, they sprited, like, these, like, electrical balls for auras. I feel like you just, like, color them differently and you've got a fart.
I don't think you understand how video games work.
It's
I
true.
don't think you understand, like, the blood, sweat, and tears that has to be done with this game where everything is the fucking same.
Look, they had to make one template and they worked off of it. They got one of those, like, naked bases off of DeviantArt and they just drew over for every single character.
Like, this does feel like sub-RPG Maker in a lot of areas.
Well, you know, the original RPG Maker did come out for the Super Nintendo.
Okay, everybody, let's guts this bird to death.
What if we punch this bird just, like, really fucking hard?
Can you yell at the bird until it stops?
Probably. I assume it can speak English. It can speak dog. We know that much from the anime.
That's true.
You know, these numbers are a little bit too low, thinking about it. Like, we are near the end, and it feels like we shouldn't still be doing damage in the two numbers, you know?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what is this, like, Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga? Is this an RPG for babies?
This definitely gives off sort of, like, you know, like a small numbers RPG thing. This isn't like, you know, your Final Fantasies where you've got 9,000 health or whatever. This is very much a, like, Paper Mario style, like, everyone is going to be doing maybe 20 damage.
This is like an organic RPG. It's not pumped up
Exactly.
with any of those GMOs that you get in your big Square Enix RPGs.
Yeah, they sold this game with a sticker on it that says that, you know, the video game hasn't had any supplements added to it. Yeah, pesticides. But that does mean that it's allowed to have, like, 50 grams of bugs shoved into the circuit boards.
Do love whenever you're applying items, it covers up the character's health, so you have to guess which character needed health to begin with.
Well, thankfully, the bottoms of their mouths are just distinct enough for me to be able to recognize who each of them are. Also, when you're doing the menuing, it, like, makes the left and right kind of laggy, so there are a lot of times where I'll just, like, accidentally move over the person I'm trying to heal and have to go backwards. It's great.
Oh man, is it gamer time?
It is gamer time.
Oh, I'm very ready for the gamer.
Maybe he'll let us play a good video game.
Hey!
It's actually just going to be that they put in, like, a whole programmed Mahjong game into this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Actually, it looks more like we're about to be part of Adventure Island.
This feels like... This is very Dragon Ball Z, I feel. Like... like Master Roshi's Island and all that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So, let's just say you guys were rich.
Mm-hmm.
If, like, a butler was applying for a job and you found out he was a gamer, would you still hire him?
Oh, absolutely not.
I'd hire him even faster.
I would report him to the police.
Yeah, I think you're legally allowed to kill that guy. That's my take on the whole issue. Like, I'm not gonna do it, because, you know, I might be wrong.
Right, also, we know that Dio's a freak, and that's why he lets it happen.
Wait, is this just a fight?
Yeah,
Oh,
you just have to fight his stand, who's now a gamer. Yeah, look at all the gamer sounds it makes.
At least the music's different, I guess.
Yeah, so they change out the boss theme for the Dio's Mansion section of the game. And now it sounds like an 80s style, like, kind of like rock jam.
I wonder why, honestly.
It's the only thing in the game that gives a sense of progression. It's just to let you know that, you know, like, shit's about to happen.
Is it, though?
Yeah, I mean, look! We're fighting a video game, man. Inside a video game? Crazy. Okay, so, you have to pitch the video game that you have to play against him. Right? What are the video games that we're coding into this video game to play against Darby?
Oh, I'm playing Crusader Kings 2 with him. I am boring him into submission. That guy looks like he has no idea what's going on in that game.
Yeah, you like pick one of the like NES Romance of the Three Kingdoms games just to fuck him up.
I do Wario's Woods because I've never lost a game of that in my life. Mostly because everybody I play with doesn't know how it works.
Oh. I mean, this guy's a gamer, but like clearly he probably hasn't played all of the video games. You might be able to trick him with some Wario's Woods.
Mm-hmm. He's like, oh no, I moved on to the Super Nintendo too quickly. I didn't realize Wario's Woods was the last released game for the NES.
Yeah, you just have to prove that you're, like, more of a gamer. Like, what if it was just, like, a quiz, right? This is just about video games.
Oh, don't worry, I have played You Want to Become a Millionaire Gamer Edition many a time, Chirps.
Oh, sure. Well, then you're ready.
It's like one of those Capcom arcade games that's both a dating sim and a quiz game. It's like, well, my girlfriend's way hotter in the video game. And he cries himself to death.
Damn. But yeah, when I originally fought this, I thought this was just like a custom fight song for him, because he looks like, kind of like an 80s Running Man computer man.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately not. This is not just exclusive to him. But yeah, I don't know, like, you know, they wrote in, like, a gimmick thing for the other Darby. It wasn't like super involved, but you played poker with him. Mm-hmm. I feel like they could have like animated a fake video game and just been like, and then Jotaro won after Kakuin's soul got exploded.
Right, you have to like do a fake like solitaire against him. Like they only have the card thing.
Like some kind of competitive solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first person who can't make a move loses. Or I don't know, they have other variants. You can do, like, Spider Solitaire. No one knows what that is, so it's probably competitive.
I mean, it's solitaire, but all the cards are actually spiders.
Holy shit. See, that sounds pretty JoJo's. Actually, that sounds more and more Kaiji.
You could probably find some weird variant of Solitaire on Itch that would just make him very confused.
Right. You have to, well, okay, so in Kaiji you have to stack the spiders on top of each other, but if you pick up a poisonous one, it will murder you. Like, if it were a JoJo's game, I feel like you would have to have way more, like, Brainiac moments, right? Like, it's not just, like, outsmarting him, it's just, like, being a super genius.
Right, it's you watching, like, 48 hours of the National Geographic Channel just so you know everything about stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what it should have been? Is it should have just been, like, you have to, like, put a puzzle together really fast.
And the only, like, research you have to do before watching Kaiji is watching the crying game.
Damn, that's what that guy does all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I love two things. It's crying and
I
gaming.
bet that guy has, like, 5 cents too little for, like, a bus ticket, and then he starts crying like a dweeb.
He's like, if I want to get on the bus, I'm going to have to do some hardcore gambling. The only way I'm going to be able to buy a ticket is if I cut off my fingers and sell them on the black market.
Now we're getting into B-Stars territory.
Wow. It's the crossover of the century.
Oh, we're done? Okay, I can go home now.
Yeah, no problem. Don't worry, we got all that pro gaming money off of him.
Alright, well, you know, I'll say hi to the wife from you guys.
Oh, there was a door on the island the whole time.
And it leads right back out the mansion.
If we inspected the walls the first time, could we have skipped that fight?
Nope.
Okay.
But this time, we're going back in to solve a mystery.
Oh boy.